A very good day to everybody. Thanks for clicking on to the Tuesday video. It is a look at the Indian monsoon so far and where we're going over the next week or two here. So before we continue with the video, hit that like button and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. This is a tweet here by meteorologist Sale based in India looking at the rainfall. This is a tweet here going back to the 31st of July. And he says that all of India July month rainfall ends up at 305 millimetres against the normal of 280 millimetres with a departure of plus 9%. Overall, the seasonal tally stands at 454 millimetres, which is 2% above the average for the month of July here. So we have had a very active monsoon so far this year, in part due to a very conducive Monsoon oscillation over the Indian Ocean that has been continuing to drive a lot of moisture northwards over the last 4 weeks or so. And he also goes on to say, this is a tweet here, more recent, extended range forecast looks very favourable for Pakistan, northwestern India, eastern India and the southeastern peninsula of India, and much needed break ahead for Konkan, Karnataka, and most of the west coast, Western Ghats, for example, seeing a bit of a break in the overall moisture. So generally, the southeast corner of India, as you can see here, northwest and northeast is going to see a continuation of moisture over the next week or so here. This is valid between the 3rd and the 9th of August. You can see here general flow being out of the Arabian Sea here across the top. So this region here of northwestern India and Pakistan is going to see convection, these onshore moist winds going to drive intense shower activity over the northwest region, and then also over the northeast region. We're going to see a bit of a break within the Western Ghats. South and central India is going to get that relief. And you can see here with the Monsoon oscillation, generally in a sinking sail over the north of the Indian Ocean here, over Africa, the Arabian Peninsula. So this general region here that is the fuel, the moisture source, has essentially kind of shut down. But it doesn't mean that we're not seeing moisture into the northwest and the northeast corner of India. Looking at a few other tweets by Sale here, showing other aspects to consider. So let me just skip through here. In search of the closest analogue year. So this is based against how this season has panned out so far. In search of the closest analogues for 2024, 2003 comes first with various reasons. Here are a few interesting and funny points to add. One, both these 2024 and 2003 are after a strong El Nino. So obviously we had the strong El Nino last year. We're now seeing the very slow progress into La Nina conditions here. Number two, both these years show positive Equinu. I think that's how you would pronounce that, conditions in the equatorial Indian Ocean. In fact, 2003 event was relatively stronger. Number three, in the year 2003, Equinu positive event was terminated during the month of August. Maybe 2024 will see a similar Equinu event also may get terminated here. During 2003, SWM parts of Pakistan witnessed severe rainfall events and floods. So yeah, an interesting kind of look back with 2003 probably being the closest analogue to 2024 regarding the MJO here. We've got, you can see here the blues representing rising versus sinking further east over Southeast Asia and over the western side of Indonesia as well. This was 2003. This is 2004 on the right-hand side here. So you can see a very, very similar setup here with the anomalies, positive to the west, negative to the east here. Quite an interesting comparison in terms of so far this monsoon season. So looking at these are the years of wet July, where we had all India rainfall crossing the 300mm range. Obviously, July being the average of 280mm. So the all of India rainfall data, we could see a lot of negative Indian Ocean dipole and equinu years. 9 out of the last 16 years of wet July are mostly seen associated with a negative IOD or Indian Ocean dipole here. So these are years comparing. So 2024 so far, 305mm of rain here. We had a positive equinu with a La Nina developing. 2023, it was an El Nino year at 315, so again above the average 327 in 2022 with a negative IOD and an La Nina. So you can see here generally that kind of slight negative IOD plus a La Nina generally favours above average rainfall over a large swathe of India, which is quite interesting. 2016 comparison 308.4mm here, 2013 310. Again, notice here the negative IOD continuing to show in combination with a La Nina. That is where we have the positive anomaly in terms of rainfall. Looking forward here, this is an interesting one. Let's have a look at the precipitation forecast seen by the CFS V2 weeklies real quick here, and let's look at the Indian Ocean specifically, or India. Let's in fact look at India itself and the upcoming 7-day period here. So remember, this is a pre-recorded video, so it's a couple of days out, but you can see here generally we've got that the southeastern corner of India seeing a positive anomaly, the Western Ghats region here, central the Deccan Plateau seeing drier than average, and then across the north, extending from Pakistan all the way towards Bangladesh, we've got quite a significant anomaly of positive rainfall. You can see here drier than average across parts of the east in Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal as well. In the week 2 off the CFS V2 looks like this here. We're starting to ease the rainfall over the north, but from Pakistan to Bangladesh across the top of India. Drier than average across the Western Ghats and across the heart of the Deccan Plateau. In the week 3, you can see here that we have, again, rather negative rainfall anomalies. But look at the moisture starting to build to the south of India here. That may be showing that the MJO starting to move back into the Indian Ocean as we progress towards the latter half of August. And then the following week, you can start to see moisture starting to build and lift northwards once again. If we look at the back to the GFS ensemble here, and let's look at the MJO and whereabouts it is positioned across the equator. So let's have a look and see. So this is the 200 millibar velocity potential anomalies here. So as we move, look at now, you can see here quite a large scale area of subsidence. Then as we continue to play through the loop, you notice here that we start to see moisture building. We get a little bit more rising motion within to the south of India, and that is seen in the rainfall anomalies over India. You notice here the moisture starting to build at the south of the Indian subcontinent here. So therefore, even by Friday of next week here, 9th of August, we're going to start to see a wave developing to the south of India, and that may start after a little bit of a drop off in moisture. We may start to see it fire back up once again as the MJO rotates back into the Indian Ocean once again. You start to see widespread subsidence over the Americas and the Atlantic basin, so we should start to see the Atlantic shut down during the second half of the month, potentially anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.